Hi, Crystal Balls. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video today. If this is your first time here, welcome. Please think about sticking around, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. For everybody else, thank you so much for being on this journey with me, especially my Patreons. Guys, if you have not taken a moment, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, if you have not taken a moment to hit that subscribe button, please do so now. That would be amazing. I'll go ahead and give you a moment. Thank you. See, what a fun, free way to help your girl out. And that's all you have to do. I'm trying to get to 1,000. That's been a goal for a while now. And this channel is slowly chugging uphill, but we're still chugging upwards. So that is good. So today we are going to be talking about Caylee Anthony. Now, I did say Caylee Anthony, not Casey Anthony. The reason why I don't really want to talk about her, even though she'll be part of this, is because Casey has had her moment in the sun. In fact, she's had 20 moments in the sun, and everything she says is a lie. We'll go over that a little bit, maybe. We'll see where this reading takes us. But Caylee has not been allowed to have a voice. She is of mystery. She doesn't necessarily have anything to say. Unfortunately, she doesn't through the grave. We're going to try to talk to her today and see if there's anything that she can tell us that will give us clarity and give us some sort of information about what actually happened to her. Because it seems like the forbidden thing to talk about is Caylee. Mom will talk about anything else except her child and the fact that she was missing for 31 days. 31 days before she was reported missing. That tells me a couple of things, given my profession, what probably happened. But we're going to look and see. So, Caylee. And remember, Spirit is under no obligation to speak to us. So if I don't get anything from Caylee, we'll switch over and talk about Casey, okay? So, Caylee, the question is, what happened to you? I was surrounded by people who were very, very stubborn, and I think we know that to be true. I don't think that's any sort of revelation at all, but surrounded by people who were stubborn. Was always with family, loved her family, loved her family. She wanted for nothing. And that means anything, attention, love, toys, whatever the case may be, the newest, the greatest, the toys, everything. Her cute pajamas, things like that, her blankets, that girl wanted for nothing. And she knew she was really, really loved. But then everything changed. Destruction. I'm surprised to see this destruction card so quickly. So I'm getting a feeling that she was around 2 years old when this whole destruction started. She wasn't quite 3 years old, I think, when she was taken from this earth too soon. But the circumstances that are surrounding her disappearance are not true. I don't think there's any truth to anything that's been said, including what's been said about Casey Anthony's dad, anything like that. But we're talking to Caylee now. Mama. Mama was somebody that she definitely loved so much. Mom was the sun and the moon and the stars. And that, again, isn't unusual. Papa. So whoever she considered her dad, somebody that she really loves, Mama and Papa, unless this is Grandpa. But this is somebody that she would consider safe, people being safe around. King of Pentacles actually reminds me of Grandma. So those are the people that she had surrounding her. There was a lot of strength and protection around her at all times. So the fact that this happened to her is so odd. It's almost like there was an expectation that something was going to happen to Caylee. It's like mom was plotting for a very long time for something to happen to her. Not by accident. Not by accident. There was something emotion that was plotted. She needed someone to come rescue her. This, needing someone to come rescue her, is Casey. Casey needed the White Knight to come and save her. She needed someone to come in and take care of her and take her away from all her responsibilities and take her away from her daughter and start over again the way that she wanted to. If you keep in mind that Casey did not want Caylee. She wanted to not have her, and ultimately she chose that to have her. Was her choice. Of course, that's a choice that we should all have. Anyway, when the world appears like this is a change, but it isn't necessarily a good change. It's a shift of things happening. So I feel like this is being plotted. Even though... So I think drowning was originally going to be part of it. I don't think it ended up being that way. But I feel like there was dry runs. Like, what happens if this child drowns? What happens if this child is asphyxiated? What happens if, leave her out in the cold and the elements? Like, it just feels... But what kept stopping her is this weird faith. Now, this wasn't a faith in God. This wasn't faith in self. This was faith in her dad. And I mean Casey in this. So Casey's popping up. I can't help it. I don't really want to talk about her. Caylee, what happened? What happened, Caylee? If you feel like telling us. I feel like there were several instances of possible death for her. Like, again, I don't know if this is research. I don't know what it was, but I feel like Casey Anthony was sick enough to do that in the same room with her daughter, Caylee, there. So let's say she was looking up on the internet car accidents. We don't know the full extent to everything that was actually looked at or anything like that. It's not like we're entitled to every single thing that's happened in that case. So let's just pretend that one day she looked up car accidents to see what the likelihood of her daughter being killed was. The next day it was a swimming pool. Another day, it was surefire way for asphyxiate, stopping breathing, to stop breathing, foolproof ways, which is, we know that was used. But her daughter was there every single time that those things were used, and it was almost like Caylee picked it up. Like, she knew what was happening. She kind of was afraid. Even though she didn't know what was happening, she knew what was happening at the same time. It's like she always had one eye open to things that were much more mature than she needed them to be, and things that were much more scarier than they needed to be. Like, she always had one eye open. Caylee truly came from a place where everything was sunshine and roses and rainbows and happiness, and she really, really wanted things to be that way. But I feel like she's showing this to me now because she didn't get that. It never was really like that. It was moments like that, but it was always very heavy, very, very heavy in the household. It was about money. I don't know why money keeps being a theme here, because it's not like these people were bad off. I don't think the Anthony family, I think they were fine. I think they were, working middle class family at that point. So I think they were fine. They didn't have debts that were extreme. They weren't trying to collect on life insurance for this child. But money was always a problem. Money was always like, maybe money is God in their family. I don't know. But um, trigger warning before we do this. Okay, trigger warning. She was tied up. See, this is where the falsehood comes. She was not placed in water. She was not taken out of water. That is a story. So as you see here, there's like little puddles and things out here. Now there is actually water in the background, but this particular card is showing that there is danger all around her. So there was danger all around Caylee, and something was going to happen to her eventually, but she was bound. She had actually gagged over her mouth, and they said that she drowned. So I think there's a small smidgen of truth in there that she probably was in the water at some point and got into the pool without permission, but was fine. I don't feel like she was drowning or anything like that at that point, or she did and they thought she was dead and they covered it up. But no matter what, I don't believe that. I believe it's more of a small, tiny bit of truth that she was in the water somehow, but didn't drown, didn't die. I think she got in trouble for it. Again, I see happy family, happy family, happy family. We had a happy family. We had a happy family. Chaos. A whole bunch of chaos after whatever happened. But I feel like Caylee expired somewhere very close to the household, and it was done to her. And it was something that was done to her by an unknown assailant and mom. So Casey had something to do with it, but so did somebody else. Not her father, not her mother. Somebody else in her family had something to do. I don't know if it was her family. That just a Freudian slip. Okay. Somebody else, apparently in her family, had something to do with the murder of Caylee Anthony and the cover up of everything. The last thing that Caylee heard in this world was fighting, not fear, not, oh my God, my baby's dying. Oh my God, what happened to my baby? Fighting, anger. That's what she left this world in. Anger. And then she left this world in death. And this is a literal death card this time. I'm going to go ahead and pull away from this energy because she's little and she doesn't understand a lot of what happened to her. Now, I'm talking to whatever guides are giving me guidance to her and access to her when she was a child. So that doesn't mean right now she's in the same mental capacity. She could be very well what is she in her 20s now? Adult that she is over on the other side, unless she reincarnated, and that's another thing. But she is coming across as a child to me. That can change later, but this is the way that was chosen to be able to speak to me, so we are going to stick with the child. So in a child's view, which narrative is also unreliable, but not as unreliable as Casey's, a child is going to give you a childhood view, a childhood perspective, and do the best that they can based off of the very limited life experience that they have. And I think that's what's happening here. But I also feel like more than one person was involved with Caylee's death, and it was another family member. So not her dad, not her mom. I'm not sure who else it could be, but there's somebody else, and that baby left this world with arguments happening around her. Okay. If I can do a part 2, I will. But this is going to be the reading on Caylee Anthony, little girl. Don't watch Casey Anthony's show. Don't give her the time of day. Seriously, it's lie after lie after lie. There's nothing you can trust coming out of her. She's already deemed herself a very unreliable narrator, and why would we all of a sudden believe her now? Don't watch the show. Save your time. Don't give Peacock your money over that. That's ridiculous. All right. Everybody have a great day or night wherever you are in this world. Remember that every single day is a gift. Use your time wisely. I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.